So, the difference between your higher self, your spirit guides, archangels, and ascended masters. And then there's also your galactic family. And I'm just gonna try to quickly cover all of that stuff. And I know if you have been on a spiritual journey for a while, you will know the difference. If you haven't been on a spiritual journey for a long time yet and you've barely like awakened to all this information, then I do feel that it is important that you know the difference and also where to get started, because it is really important that you integrate and recognize one type of connection before diving into the next connection. And the best thing to do is to just really start with what does my higher self feel like and what do my personal spirit guides feel like. And the archangels and ascended masters are really helpful too at first, but the galactic star family, that is something that you can dive into later, simply because it's very important to get that foundation going first of the angelics and your higher self and spirit guides. So let's start with your higher self. That is you. We are all part of the big I am energy, source energy, God. There's nothing wrong with the word God. I know that for people that have religious backgrounds, it may not sound, it may have this weird, icky feeling to it when you use the word God, and I used to be like that, but to me, the word God does carry an energetic signature, and that signature is just source energy. It's the same thing, but when I say God, so whenever I say the word God in this course or in any of my other videos anywhere online, you hear me say the word God, I mean goddess, I mean source, I mean creator, I mean the universe, I mean the great I am energy that we are. That's basically what I mean when I say God. And you can never go wrong with praying to God, because what you're doing is praying to your higher self and praying to all the energies that are directly related to assisting you on your journey. The archangels that are assigned to assisting you in this lifetime, the ascended masters, spirit guides, God, they're basically just helpers of God. And let me start with the archangels. The archangels are the direct assistants of God, of source energy. So you can always call upon archangels. And they have never been incarnated, and they've never been humans, they've never been physical. They are the purest form of source energy that has never come down into any material form, any physical form ever. They are pure creator energy. And why are there separate archangels? Because source, it's basically just source, but specified into specific areas of expertise. Like if you need help with clarity or just strength, empowerment in your awakening journey, Archangel Michael is perfect to call upon. I work with Archangel Michael every day and have worked with him for about 3 years now, every day. And he's basically, you can call upon him for everything, because the thing is too, if you call upon Archangel Michael for anything, he can just delegate it to other angels too, because he's supposed to be, he or she, because an archangel doesn't have a gender, it's just pure energy. But you can never go wrong with calling upon Archangel Michael. And as a matter of fact, I actually recommend that you call upon Archangel Michael each time you do anything that has to do with the non-physical. Each time you go meditate, each time you try to connect to your spirit guides, call upon Archangel Michael first and ask for an energetic filter to be set up by Archangel Michael, because anything that you will connect with will have to pass through Archangel Michael. Basically, just envision a big blue shield of light around you, and anything that is not of the exact frequency of light that Archangel Michael represents cannot come through, cannot be in touch with you. And that is also a safe way of connecting to any being that is wanting to connect to you. But I'm going to talk about that more in the second part of the course. But archangels, um, if you're sick, or Archangel Raphael is a very good one for healing. So, general mental, emotional, physical healing, Archangel Raphael is perfect for that. Archangel Gabriel is the messenger archangel. So, when it comes to communication, clear communication with family members, friends, call upon Archangel Gabriel. So the archangels are basically the direct helpers of source energy. Ascended masters. Ascended masters are basically, they have the same task kind of as archangels. The only difference is that they have completely come down to earth in a physical form multiple times. They've entered the wheel of incarnation multiple times. They've been here. They've You can relate to to ascended masters, and they can relate to you because they have gone through the stuff that you're going through. They've gone through the ascension process. They've gone through the veil of forgetfulness and having to rediscover themselves completely to ascend. And that is why ascended masters are um, helping people right now all over the world, because they have done it. They've gone through this awakening process, and it's perfectly fine to call upon ascended masters. They're basically angelics that have had physical bodies in the past. So that is also, you can all, and everyone also has certain ascended masters appointed to them that you have made contracts with. So what does that mean? We all come in here with soul contracts. If you know the work that I do, you know that I'm an Akashic Records reader. And what does that mean? That I can see the soul contracts that you have with family members, maybe, or with past life connections, but I can also see the soul contracts that you have with archangels or ascended masters. There are male and female ascended masters, but they are energy. Again, they are energy. They're just representing a more feminine energy or a more masculine energy, and depending on what you need in a certain situation or life lessons, you can benefit from calling upon one or the other. For instance, Mother Mary is an ascended master that is coming forward for a lot of women and men in this time of ascension, because she represents the integration of the divine feminine and the mother aspect. So, and also for compassion, she is really good to call upon when you need to have compassion for yourself or compassion for others in your life. You can ask her to assist you with that. Jesus, of course, Yeshua, is also an ascended master, and he's completely different from the Jesus from the Bible. That's a whole other story, but you can call upon him for unconditional love, for integrating more of your intuition and becoming your higher self. That is really what you can call upon him for, too. More ascended masters are, for instance, if you call upon Saint Germain, that I work with Saint Germain a lot, and he is all about shedding blocks and shadows like wounds, things that you are holding on to from the past that are really not serving you anymore. Calling upon Saint Germain and the violet flame of transmutation to basically help you work through some of the blocks that you have. Some of the lesser known ascended masters, because I know that people are always talking about Saint Germain and all these other ones. I have a list here because I don't even know all of them, but basically they are people that have lived on earth. They have gone through the ascension process. They have ascended and become masters. They don't ever return back in a physical form, but they have chosen to assist humanity from a higher level. And we all have connections to these ascended masters. We can call upon them freely, and they would love to unconditionally assist you. You don't have to do anything special. That's also one thing that people think. What is the protocol of contacting these archangels or ascended masters, there is no protocol. Everything is energy. They just respond to your energy. Like the same thing with archangels. You don't have to go through some kind of official thing that you have to recite. Forget about all that. Just saying something like, please, Archangel Michael, thank you for helping me with this. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for assisting me today at work. Or thank you, Archangel Gabriel, for supporting me in this conversation that I'm going to have with my boss. That is enough. That is enough for them to know that you're sending out the energy and asking for their help, that you're opening the channel up for them to come through with their energy and assist you. So that is enough. Um, More about the Ascended Masters. There's a few very interesting female Ascended Masters. Mary Magdalene is also an Ascended Master, and she's all about embracing your magical self, embracing your intuition, and being yourself, completely being yourself, and accepting who you are in this time of ascension. So that's another female Ascended Master, really good. Another one is Joseph, of course, father of Yeshua, and he is actually Saint Germain. He's an incarnation of Saint Germain, but these ascended masters can also have different aspects that they really want to work with, and it's about raising these new earth children. If you have children, if you don't have children, just forget about this little bit or keep it in mind for later when you do have kids. How can we assist our children? And we can call upon several ascended masters for that, such as Saint Germain, such as Mother Mary, such as Yeshua, who was the first indigo child of his generation, basically. But I'm going to be making a whole separate little course that is for spiritual mothers. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Contact me about that. Um, yeah, and the same thing with the archangels. You can call upon Archangel Metatron for he's basically connected to the central sun of all the new frequencies that are coming down to Earth for this ascension process, and all the new children, the new indigo children, crystal children, rainbow children that are coming in. He is assisting all of those children, and he is here unconditionally for us to call upon. So you can call upon Archangel Metatron too if you have children, or for yourself, because you at one point were an indigo child, and he is still supporting you. You can call on these ascended masters, you can call on these archangels, and then there are your personal spirit guides, your ancestors, past life connections. Let's start with, okay, so we have the higher self, that's you basically, and then you have the spirit guides, your personal guides. So who are these personal guides? They can be past life connections, like a husband from a past life, a sister, soul family. They're basically soul family, so that's what they can be. And you may not know them in this lifetime, but you know them on a soul level. And then there's the ancestors from this lifetime. If you have lost loved ones in this lifetime, they can choose to assist you. In this lifetime, they've passed already, and they can choose. You made a contract with them. Let's say I was 9 years old when my grandpa died, and then he chose to assist me after he had already passed on, that he would assist me from beyond the veil, for instance, or with ancestors that you've never met before, like my grandma's mother, my great grandmother. Has chosen to assist me from the moment I was born, and I've never met her in the physical form, but I have a very close relationship with her, a non-physical one that is, but I have known her since I was about 15, 16 years old. I've been in touch with her, and she's still supporting me and helping me to anchor in the divine feminine aspect and mother role in this lifetime. So that is how, if we get acquainted with our personal spirit guides, we can also start to figure out how they're helping us, what they're doing to help us. But then, yeah, you would need to really start to dive in meditation, but we'll get to all of that. Right now, this is just about what is the difference and who all is assisting us right here in this non-physical realm. So we've covered the archangels, the ascended masters, the spirit guides. So, and then there is also the spirit animals. We do have spirit animals too that are assisting us, and the spirit animals can be anything from dolphin consciousness. They can be archetypes that represent a certain aspect that we are trying to integrate, like the wolf or the bear or the bee. And all these animals have their own meaning, and once we figure out the meaning of these animals, we can ask them to assist us during our day-to-day stuff, like stuff that we go through. There's also our past pets. They are also assisting us. They stay with us because basically what a pet is an extension of your soul. They are here to help you ground in the energy. They are here to assist you with your journey. So those are all the different energies that are assisting us. And then there's also the cosmic energies that are assisting us. And I should probably make a whole separate video on this because this is going to be lengthy, but I'm going to do it anyway because I feel that that is part of intuitive development. So let's just get right into it. The cosmic spirit guides. But again, remember, first, connect to your higher self, connect to the archangels, connect to the ascended masters, connect to your personal team, that is your ancestors, your past life connections, your spirit animals, all of those people. Connect to all of those energies first, and then you are protected, grounded, and then you can start to reach out to the star family. Because, and I know that I don't want to sound fearful or whatever, but that is just the truth of it. We are in a time of planetary ascension. People are massively opening up their third eye, opening up that telephone line to source. But if you don't protect that telephone line to source, all kinds of energies can come pouring in that can put on a facade and say that they are something that they really aren't. And if you are not in alignment with archangels, ascended masters, your higher self, if you don't have that foundation in place, it is very hard to discern whether a cosmic entity is really on your side or whether they are just trying to get some of your energy for free. Because there are lower entities or astral beings that can pretend to be something they are not. So that's why it's really important to get the basics covered and to really get that telephone line completely cleared up and accurate and ready and protected by all the beings that love you unconditionally. So, but let's just get into the starseed stuff, because if you're here, then you have probably heard of the word starseed.